The idea of making the movie comes as a sort of occasion, like in a conversation with our financiers, Studio Canal. They mentioned to me that they had the rights for a film of the 60s called La Piscine by Jacques Deray. And because I like the idea that the principle upon which to make a movie can be basically any, though that was a possibility, the idea of starting from a movie that wasn't particularly part of my upbringing as a cinephile, nor was a movie that I was thinking about at the time. And I think this is, of all the things I did, is the most intuitive one in the way I did it. Meaning that I did not knew consciously the plan of what I was doing. And I welcome this way of working, to be honest. Even though there are other films that I would like to make that are more determined by sort of really plan. We moved the action in Pantelleria, this island that is a sort of a gate to Europe. It's the most close island to Africa and Sicily. And we wanted to empower the concept of the place and the people, like place and people, the interaction between those two entities. Regarding the language, I think the movie very strongly speaks for itself, but and it's about communication and capacity or non-capacity of communication and finding different ways of communication. But what I recognize as stroke of genius in the creation of the film comes from Hilda, when we discussed fairly late in the process the possibility for us to be doing this together, and Hilda read the script which is always a sort of impediment to the movie in general. And in a way, she said, I think the way to circumnavigate this sort of friction that the script makes in general and in particular comes from the possibility for Marianne Manning, first of all, to be a musician, because she wasn't a musician back then, and second of all, to be not to have the possibility to use the spoken words, so to be in need of not using anything or using any other way of communication. And that is the thought. But I will add also to give you the great chance to play like a wonderful silent movie from the Marx Brothers, which is one of the most fabulous things. So that's my answer. And I think Hilda could also add something about that.
It was a strange intuition that I had when I read the script, that the script wanted to be, I mean, I'm a little suspicious of the idea that people can really communicate to each other lucidly with words. I think life is really interesting, and one of the things that makes it very interesting is how hard it is for us to communicate to one another, even in the same language. Very often it's easier to communicate with someone in a language other than theirs, because then one has to make some kind of negotiation. But when I first read the script, I felt that there was too much lucidity, or there was too much idea that these people could communicate, and I just wanted to ramp up the insolvency of their being able to understand one another. And it was an experiment of a sort, and it was fun, actually.
I want to